गौर निताई की जय। हरे कृष्णा। दंडवत pranam to each and everybody. Thank you on behalf of our leaders of Radha Gopinath Circle, I would like to thank everyone who did their japa service this morning. And welcome, first of all of you for this morning's Japa Yagna program. As always, we completed the japa. We would like to do the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, the next program for the day. So before we get there, we will do a short kirtan and then go on to the next part of the program. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Vanachari Yamuna Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gandharvika Giridhari, Gandharvika Giridhari Gaura Hari. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantadev Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantadev Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Mahaprabhu ki jai. लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय. Hare Krishna. So we are doing a series from the first canto on a daily basis, at least 2 to 3 days a week of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are now in Canto 1, Chapter 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there has been a small confusion whether one particular verse is completed or not. I will still take shelter and on the verse 10. I will be probably focusing on different attributes in that same verse. Okay. So reading from Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 10. It displays so that it is easy for the rest of them. Hope now people would be able to see this sharing. Can someone confirm?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Abhidravati Mamisa Sarastapta Yaso Vibho Kamam Dahatu Mam Nata Mam Me Garbho Nipatyatam. Abhidravati mamisa sarastapya tapta yaso vibhu kamam dahatu mam nata mam me garbho nipatyatam. Word to word meaning and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Vidravati, coming towards me, Isa, O Lord, Saraha, the arrow, Tapta, fiery, Asyasyaha, iron, Vibhoho, O great one, Kamam, desire, Tahatu, let it burn, Mam, me, Natu, O protector, Mam, not me, my, Garbaha, embryo, Nipatyatam, be aborted. Translation: Oh my Lord, you're all powerful. A fiery arrow is coming towards me fast. Now, please remember this. It's Uttaras now saying it. My Lord, let it burn me personally if you so desire. But please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me a favor, my Lord. Very small purport. Please listen to this carefully so that later on we can understand the context of what we are discussing. Purport. This incident took place after the death of Abhimanyu, the husband of Uttara. Abhimanyu's widow, Uttara, should have followed the path of her husband, but because she was pregnant and Maharaj Parikshit, a great devotee of the Lord, was living in the embryo, she was responsible for his protection. The mother of a child has a great responsibility in giving all protection to the child, and therefore Uttara was not ashamed to express his frankly before Lord Krishna. Uttara was the daughter of a great king, the wife of a great hero, and the student of a great devotee. And later, she was the mother of a good king also. She was fortunate in every respect. So, we shall go into a little bit of discussion. But before that, let me seek prayers from all the Vaishnavas and the Guru Parampara. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण श्रीमते कृष्ण नमो आचार्य पदाय गौर दामोदाय नगर Hare Krishna. I once again like to thank His Grace Mathurapati Prabhu, their inspiration. I'm able to speak a few words, and hopefully today also I seek prayer for all the Vaishnavas to ensure that this is well within the parampara. So before I start the today's verse, let's glorify Srimad Bhagavatam, the Amala Purana. Very recently, we covered this verse in the previous chapter. Yasyam Vai Suryamananam Krishne Parame Purushe Bhaktir utpadyate pumsam shokamoha bhayapaha. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling of loving devotional service to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts at once and extinguishes the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearlessness. Shoka moha bhayapaha. So I thought this verse is very important, glorifying this verse, because I have been very fortunate personally because of this wonderful oral reception by our senior Vatrapati Prabhu and the rest of the seniors in our Radha Gopinath circle. So I would like to start the discussion today with a lot of gratitude to all of you, because I have been benefited from this. Okay. Thank you very much. So I definitely take shelter, and one or two verses before also. In ninth verse, Srila Prabhupada in the end said, "The Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness for the surrendered soul. One cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without surrendering themselves to the lotus feet." So fearlessness, which means the aspect of fear, is clearly there in all of us, right? Most of them are fearful, yes, of death, of future, shoka, moha, bhaya. One of the things they'll always be either lamenting on or being fearful of the future. Now, we are in one of the most intense episodes in Pandava's life, right? So if you see, Brahmastra was thrown at Arjuna, then the womb of Vatara. Of course, we have seen at length why that person, the villain, threw it like that and how irresponsible he was. Let's leave that behind. Now, but how was the response in each of the situation, right? What happened? How did Arjuna respond then? How is Uttara responding now? Okay, only there are two aspects today I would like to focus on. They took shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, no matter what the situation. Unconditionally, they took shelter of Lord Krishna, right? So now we all know the war was over, almost over, bringing in a closure for this villain, which is not yet done. Now, as Krishna is about to depart, now that is the time Uttara is coming running and, and telling this to Krishna, right? Now, we will take up one particular quality in this entire verse, right? What is the main quality which she displaced? Of course, our dear Gurudev has also given a class in this series, and he particularly highlights the selflessness of Uttara. But there is another important aspect to this also, which in Krishna consciousness is very important to highlight this. Okay, what does she say? She comes back and says, "Take my life if necessary," right? So definitely selfless. She was not as selfish. She's not coming to ask for her protection. She's asked for protection of the child. Why? Two, three aspects. One, she's a great devotee of the Lord, and he's the last descendant in this Kuru dynasty. So it is even more responsible for Uttara to ensure that she saves the son, right? At the cost of her own life, willing to take responsibility to protect her son. Now, this aspect of taking responsibility is what we will, for the next 10 or 15 minutes, we'll discuss, right? How do we take responsibilities? How do we take our duties seriously, the services seriously, the instructions of our spiritual master seriously? So let's go back and see what is our Vedic culture. The Vedic culture itself our culture is so beautiful that this aspect of responsibility is so clearly displayed. Let's take four Varnas, for example. Brahmana, how responsible position it is. When the moment you think of a Brahmana, what do we, Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Patan, Dhan, Pratigra, all this comes into the picture. So they're in fact so responsible that Brahmanas sometimes do not teach an unqualified person. immediate example, which I'm sure everybody is thinking of, Eklavya, right? Dronacharya did not think that he was qualified and did not qualify that person, right? You talk about Kshatriya, our own Parikshit Maharaj, much later, take responsibility for that action. He's put in a snake, he did not justify, he just said, I take responsibility, right? Same way Vaishyas take responsibility. Shudras, they are also so responsibility served their master, whether it is unconditionally, even if the master is not considered unworthy. Sometimes I fear that these qualities going forward are definitely not there, right? So this is the beauty about our Vedic culture. Okay. Now, if you see, even we already mentioned that Prahlad Maharaj had taken the responsibility. You see, Yamaraj, such a great Mahajan, what did they do when the meeting with Ajamila, right? Though he was a perfect candidate, okay? But what happened? The Vishnu Dutas had come. Now, they claimed that no, he had chanted the Lord's name without any offense in a very helpless way. So they were clearly, Vishnu Dutas were saying, he's our candidate, right? Now, here, Yamaraj took responsibility for the wrong actions of the Yamadutas. Now, that is being a leader. He begs for forgiveness from the Lord. He says, ask for pardon for this incident that wrongly we came to pick him up. So, all these incidences in Vedic literature gives us such wonderful examples. Shamik Rishi, who was the son of the Brahmana who cursed Parikshit Maharaj. So he understood it. He took responsibility. He knew that, oh my God, this is a fall down. The moment a Brahmana starts cursing is a fall down for our, the society. He knew that. He begged forgiveness, right? So that is the beauty. The Shastras glorifies, even if it's the moment it's a mistake, and the moment the person takes responsibility for that, he's glorified. Look at how wonderful our Shastras are and our Vedic literatures are, right? So now, as against we heard all the examples from the Vedic literature. Now let's see what happens. What is the general mood in the society? What really happens in today's world, Kali Yuga? Okay, do you think each one is very responsible? No, they go away from responsibility, right? Okay, even when service is given, we think, oh, the other person is going to do it. We are all very, very experts in this. So many examples. The first thing which definitely comes back is marriage, wedding, right? So I once heard, of course, this is a very long time back, Varadaraj Maharaj has said that 72% of the marriage end up in a divorce as they do not want accept responsibility. I'm sure this percentage is increased, right? So if most of us generally, when these kind of percentages are there, we normally attribute it to Western life and think it is not. No, but India is not very far off in this particular thing also, right? It's not left behind. We are catching up fast in these percentages. So, but whereas if you see in the same context, if you see, having children out of the wedding law, they are left fetuses hanging here and there. So we see the abortion rate declared by the doctor is very, very high. So all this clearly giving messages that they run away from responsibilities. We will talk of another aspect. Whenever we look at heroes, we look at our teachers, we look at our parents, we look at all these people as the people who are leading us from. Okay, if you take about entertainers, right, whatever they are called, heroes or whatever is the name given to them, they have a great responsibility. But do they act in any way responsible to their positions? Look at their advertisements. Look at how irresponsibly they choose to, uh, follow a brand or follow something, do something. Their act itself in the screen is so much. They know that there is a huge fan following and everybody is going to do whatever they are going to do, but they still go ahead and do it, right? They don't act anywhere responsibly. In fact, very insanely inspiring many other people to do the wrong things, right? In Bhagavad Gita, we all know that very clearly. Krishna says that yad yad atarishi shreshtas tat tat evataro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. What does it say? Whatever action great man performs, common man follow. And now look at the second line. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary heads, all the world pursues. That means the current generation is looking at inspiration from these heroes, these entertainers, these so-called leaders, so-called teachers. So if they do not act very responsibly, very inspiringly, look what is happening. They're going to be following, right? So if one goes for pleasure, without taking any responsibility, then of course it becomes vikarma, right? But if the same thing is done responsibly, if someone takes responsibility for that action, then it does not become vikarma. Krishna says, right? Dharmo viruddha bhuteshu kama asmin bharatashrava. Even I am the sex life. Okay, what does he say? I am the strength of the strong, devoid of the passion and desire. I am the sex life, but which is not contradictory to religious principles, O Lord of Bharata. That means an act of producing children can be responsible if the act is done properly, if the children are going to be Krishna conscious, if we follow all the Dashavida samskaras. So beautifully, all the samskaras are given. Now, of course, many are even... Actually, let's be honest, many of us are not even aware of this Dashavida Samskara. Of course, a few are still left, thanks to the ritualistic society we are still in. Some of them are still there, otherwise even that will vanish away in due course of time. Okay, because go ahead and ask the particular mother, what are all the rituals she's following out of 10? I'm sure it's going to be 3. With with the advent of new so-called advanced in technology, the daughter will say, I will only follow 1. And then the next one say, why only 1? I mean, they will stop that too. So this samskara will definitely be going away. And who's going to teach us? The new Swiggies, the new order of the day, which says whatever that gold thing comes, right, for 1 week. And they are the ones who are going to be the new samskaras going forward. Such sad situation. So even if you see, one of the main reasons why Bhagavad Gita was spoken, because Arjuna was trying to run away from the war or whatever, run away from the responsibility. That's why Krishna had to start a new parampara to recite the Bhagavad Gita for Arjuna and to all of us, right? Which means taking responsibility is very, very, very serious. Okay. And being serious in Krishna consciousness itself means taking responsibilities. Okay. So we can see, let's now take the example of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Who best than the moment you talk of word seriousness and following Guru's order, taking responsibility, the first example. In fact, his own devotees, if you see the top 6 or the top 8 whom he sent to Europe, they did not have any money. They were just new. In fact, one of them, Malti Mataji, I think, had a new baby too. But they were totally surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. That is, they were very serious about it, right? Okay. Or you take Srila Prabhupada's example of when he wanted to go abroad. He could have peacefully stayed in Vrindavan, right? He was at that age, he could have still followed Krishna consciousness, but he took the instructions of his spiritual master very seriously and took responsibility to set out and go and preach. he took multiple times. He had to go to find the sponsors for a ship. When every time they said, "You will die. You're very old." She used to send Prabhupada back. So Prabhupada used to roar, "No, I am not going to die. I am going to carry the order of my spiritual master." See, just imagine visiting even multiple times to go through in a ship. Huh? So that is a kind of responsibility Srila Prabhupada said. Okay. So, and many times he is told in his preaching mission also that I might die, but please spread this mission. Okay. And I really like when I hear this, His Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Swami Maharaj, he always says taking responsibility means when you are forced to use your intelligence to think how to serve Krishna. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? You're forcing your intelligence. That is actually taking responsibility, right? Taking responsibility means it need not be in a high position. Most of us think that, oh, I need to be circle leader, I need to be a leader, only then I can take responsibility. No, please don't. Taking responsibility is exactly like as Maharaj says, you use your intelligence to serve Krishna. How can I use it? How can I make an impact in my circle, in my group, how can I make an impact for my daily life, for my own family? Okay, we are in Kartik month. We are in a Deep Dan month, which means this is the month it's discount for others. So buy one, get 99 free. That is a kind of mood we are in. Are we thinking, how am I going to this month make sure that I will add more number of dans, more number of Deepa dans, more number of new people who haven't done anything for Krishna? Okay. Is there a birthday coming up in my colony? Is there a function coming up, November 1st, Rajotsava? Usually at least, very nationalist and hard-earned people, about 30, 40 will wait and light the lamp, and they do Karnataka Rajotsava celebration. Can I go there, keep the Lord, our dear Lord Damodara, and ask everybody to light a lamp? This is what is actually taking responsibility. Okay, saying that how can I give new ideas? How many birthdays are there in this colony? Can I suggest every birthday? I will give you everything. I will give you the photo. I'll give you the batti. All you have to do is come and show. The photograph itself is so beautiful. Automatically, I'm sure everybody will start lighting a lamp towards this. This is what is calling taking responsibility. We need help. The preachers are struggling, the team is struggling. So can I, as a person, I'm not preaching, can I do some calling service? Call your leader, ask them, saying that, can I take some numbers? Can I call them? What are we doing? We're just asking, how are you? How is your week? Was there any problem? Definitely he will be there. He will share it. Then share that, why don't you come ask these doubts to my leader? He comes every Saturday, so, or Sunday, whatever is your respective class. And ask if you have attended last class, how did you feel? Did you like it? How are you chanting, or whatever? There are so many things you could actually do by sitting in your house, right? Or you can even say that, what can I do? There is one program, may not be in my circle, my sector, maybe it's Yalanka. Please call the respective person and say, there is one program. Do you think any one of you can go and just facilitate little? We would be more than happy, because it is not just the number of people in your sector or our sector or circle. It's just connecting new souls. So these are the few examples I gave for taking responsibilities, because we are reading about exalted devotees. We are reading Tara here. What did she do? She took responsibility of saving the soul, because he was the last in the dynasty. So this is the way. We have examples from great Vedic literature. We all read about great parampara we are in. Each one of them, our Gurudev, even in this position, keeps giving us such wonderful instructions, such simple instructions to ensure that we take up Krishna consciousness seriously and much more responsibility. So these were the few lines. I'm really sorry if I've repeated the same verse. There was some small confusion. So I just thought we will take one particular aspect about in this aspect from this particular verse. Okay, so thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Prabhu. I could list out a few lines from here. Varadaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. I would request all the seniors to please correct me if there is any mistake and add more lines to this verse, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.